I am super excited today because I'm visiting a place in China that I've never ever been, and to be honest, I've never really given that much thought to. But this is the capital of Hubei province in central China, in the city of Wuhan. 你好，我叫 Mike， 我是美国人，我爱中国，我爱武汉。Since 2020, it feels like everyone's been talking about this city of over 11 million people in central China, a place that's become synonymous with a global pandemic. But it's so much more. Influential in shaping culture for thousands of years, this is a modern industrial city. It's a cosmopolitan transportation hub, a leader in education, technology, and innovation, a place that has inspired poets, writers, and artists with its waterways and ancient temples. It's a city I'm so grateful to get to explore and connect with for the first time. Let's enjoy today, getting lost along the shores of the Yangtze River and the lights that come on after dark. Well, I finally got over here. Now I just need to find a way to get into this park because there's a wall right next to it. I think there's an entrance though coming up in a minute. Okay, I think I have found a place where I can get in here, and I'm currently walking underneath this massive orange bridge here, but there is an entrance. That is incredible. I heard all this cracking and whipping when I was walking in, and I realized there's a whole group of people here with bullwhips, and I guess that's kind of their morning routine or their exercise. I think that's so cool. And then there are also people over here dancing and doing Tai Chi. Very typical morning in China. I think I can walk right down to the water here. So I'm just gonna go and get a little bit closer. Right now, I'm just walking toward the lifeblood of China. This is the third longest river in the world, known as the Changjiang here. But in English-speaking countries, usually they say Yangtze or Yangtze. This is my first time to see it in person. I've seen it in books, but I've never been to this area of China. I wish the weather was a little bit nicer, but I think this is kind of typical here. It's kind of overcast and hazy. But today is my only day, so I knew I had to come down and see this. Now, there are only two other rivers in the world longer than this one, and that is the Nile and the Amazon. And they're only longer by about 100 miles. Each of these rivers is almost 4,000 miles long, which if you're from the USA, that would be like a river going from coast to coast. And this one in China, historically, has represented kind of the dividing line between the north and south. Even though it's not the exact middle, it was always for centuries viewed as if you were north of the river, you were in northern China. If you were south of this river, you're in southern China. Well, I'm going to be walking along the river today because I think this is actually the one thing you should do if you're in Wuhan is see this, because it's so significant to Chinese history and culture that it almost feels like you're living part of it when you're walking along this river. So that's exactly what I'm going to do, and check out a few bridges along the way. I believe they refer to this city as Bridge City as well because of the number of crossings it has. I believe there's 11 massive bridges across the big river, and there are over 700 bridges total. There's another river as well up here that joins this one that's also pretty big, and that's the Han River, or the Hanjiang. I'll definitely be getting some steps in today, but luckily it's not too hot yet. This city can become very, very warm, especially in the summer, and is known as one of the furnace cities here in China. All right, so there's a bridge that I'm walking toward over here, and this is considered the first bridge that went across the river, also known as the Yangtze River Bridge, and this was completed in 1957. I do really like this orange bridge that I just came under and through here, probably because it reminds me of the San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge. Not exactly, not a one-for-one, but maybe it's just the color and the way it's designed. I found this path down here right along the river, but it's not really, I think it's just a place where people come and walk, but they didn't actually pave it or anything, so just be careful where you're stepping. A lot of stones and sand here. But up on the bank, if I just go a few more feet that way, there is a really nice paved walking trail where most of the people are walking and doing their morning exercises. I just wanted to be a little bit closer to the river for a bit, but I will eventually walk back up there, because one of the things I'd like to do today is to cross this river by walking the length of that original bridge up there. And there are also a few other really cool things to see and do around this area, because this is the central part of the city here in Wuhan. There's something called the Yellow Crane Tower across the way, and there's also like a newer city tower on this side with a big park. Of course, in China, city parks are a huge part of life, so always something I enjoy doing is coming down and seeing what's going on, because I feel like I'm getting the more local perspective. In fact, just coming up here, I was starting to wonder, like, do people get in this river and go swimming? And somebody said they wouldn't recommend it, that I asked earlier. But I'm seeing a bunch of old men taking off their clothes now, jumping into the water. I won't be doing this, but it's good to see that this is something people do here. And they seem to be really enjoying it, because again, the weather here is a bit warmer, so I bet that water feels pretty good. All right, I just climbed up here to the more well-paved path. But there are stairs right in that area that go right down to the water's edge. And on the other side of me, they have lots of courts. People are playing badminton and basketball. Probably some ping pong in there, but I don't see it yet. Usually that's typical. You know, when I hear that cracking sound and I see them having so much fun, I kind of think to myself, I need a bullwhip. You know, that would be a great way to start my morning, you know, relieve stress. That is the bridge I'm about to walk across. But good thing I got more water, because it is pretty warm and I am starting to get dehydrated, so yep, lots of walking today. And I'm watching these people flying kites and it just looks like so much fun. I want to get a kite. Part of me does wish today was a little bit more clear and blue skies. And it does happen here, but I think this weather is more typical. And truthfully, I've been told by other people that live over here that if you do have a really sunny day here, the temperature is really, really high. So for someone like me who likes cooler weather, it's probably better that it is overcast. And I think it's supposed to rain this afternoon, maybe even thunderstorm. Whatever I'm going to do outside, I'm going to try to do it early. And there are things to do inside here as well, lots of museums. Again, this is a massive city with over 11 million people. Noticing a lot more sculptures around this side of the park. This is one of the most badass statues I've ever seen in my life. Is this incredibly muscular dude fighting a dragon. I think he might actually win. There are some really incredible works of art made out of rock here in this park. I feel like they're kind of telling a story because they're going in a certain order and they have people doing random things. Really fascinating. I'm sure it has something to do with the mythology and history of the area. Wow, that is nuts. So I told you about the other statue back there that I thought was really badass. Well, this guy said, "Hold my beer." He's fighting a 9-headed serpent with an axe. I love mythology. It's incredible, the detail on this wall here with all these different figures. After seeing all these, now I really feel like I want to learn more about Chinese mythology because they make it look so cool. But that's the whole point, right? It's to give meaning and order to the universe, explain the things we don't quite understand, and to also give our societies and culture the kind of uniqueness that makes them different and interesting, gives them their own mythology and tales. Now, to get up to the bridge where I want to cross over the river, I have to kind of walk through this park here. And there are a few steps. There's a little bit of a hill here. But mostly it's been flat walking the whole time. There aren't a lot of mountains or anything around the city here. So it's not too bad. I'm almost to the point where I can start walking across this bridge, but I want you to know too that there are a lot of ways to get across this river. You could take a Didi or a taxi, drive across. You can take the public metro, the train, which is fantastic here. They have an amazing subway system. You can also take a ferry boat across. And I chose probably the most difficult way, but I've always said the reason we build bridges is to walk across them. I don't know, maybe that's not really a thing, but I feel like it's more of a challenge, right? Because it is, comparatively speaking, it's going to take a bit more energy. But when you do it, you feel that sense of accomplishment, and it's something you can look back on and say, yeah, I actually walked across this bridge. And there should be some nice views as well along the way, and you can stop and rest, drink water, all that stuff. The fact that I'm seeing a lot more people walking across this bridge makes me a little bit more comfortable about it because I think it is a thing to do here and it's not that hard. It's not the widest path, as you can see. There's just enough room for people coming and going to kind of walk by each other. But there are little points here where you can kind of duck in, take a view, or take a photograph, which is nice. Well, I'm pretty sure I passed the point of no return, so now I just need to keep walking. But it's really not that far. And you can stop and take pictures and get some amazing views here too. So I'm taking my time. I'm not in any hurry to cross this bridge. I don't think it's in danger of falling down anytime soon. This reminds me a lot of the major river that runs through the city of Seoul, South Korea, Hangang. People here are so friendly. Well, I did it. I walked from one bank to the other, from northern China to southern China. Now, if I only did the Yangtze River while I was here, that would make me happy enough, because that's something to see and something to spend time around. But I have about a half a day left, so I figure why not check out a few other places if I can. Headed over to the Yellow Crane Tower. Shouldn't be hard to get a ticket. And even though the weather's not perfect and the views aren't going to be spectacular, I think it would still be fun to check out. This is definitely a tourist trap kind of area. But I can see why. It's a place everybody wants to go and check out, right? Okay, I was able to buy a ticket, no problem, and now I'm inside, about to go up this really cool looking pagoda. So each level here offers its own unique views, as well as like areas where they have museums inside, so you can go in and take a look at some amazing artwork and traditional Chinese writings. The city views here are already amazing. And I'm only on the second story. I think it should go up a little bit higher. If you look over this way, you can just make out that orange bridge that I was next to this morning when I first started. This is such a massive and sprawling city. It's really hard to comprehend unless you actually come here and get these kind of aerial views. I guess historically it was actually 3 cities on different sides of the waterways. Now it's just collectively known as Wuhan. getting a lot windier, and I'm not sure if that's just because I'm going up higher or because the weather's changing. I believe it's still supposed to rain today, but so far so good. Looks like some kind of street market down there. Wow, that is an incredible mural behind me. And this is the last view before I get to go back down. And I think I might have just heard thunder. So I just beat the storm to get up here. And now I'm just deciding, what do I do the rest of the day then? Do I really want to go and be outside in more parks? Or should I find somewhere indoors, like a big mall, and just kind of hang out? Cafe somewhere. Choices to be made. There is more to this park on the backside. In fact, there's quite a bit. So I'm going to keep going until it really starts to downpour. And something else I want to do is tonight, as long as it's not bad, I want to come back and get some of the views then, because Chinese cities are really well known for lighting up their skylines, and they just look amazing. Uh-oh. I just felt my first drop. That bell was pretty cool. Had a lot of artwork on it. And now definitely starting to drizzle a little bit. I did bring a rain jacket. I didn't bring my umbrella, and maybe I should have brought that instead. I'll find out soon enough when I'm paying for this. This is a really nice green space right here in the middle of the city. And I'm coming up to another structure that I think I can go up. Nature is our friend forever. That's a good sign. Well, silver linings. This bad weather is probably keeping a lot of people from coming over here now or staying around. We have some Chinese artwork in here with writings. That's really cool. The calligraphy. Well, that turned into a really heavy downpour. I don't know how long these things last for, but I guess it's better I just hang out under this pagoda for a while. Wait it out, maybe? That cloud cover rolled in so heavy you can't even see the buildings anymore. Now, as far as I can tell, this is not going to let up anytime soon, so I may just try to rough it out there and get a taxi to a mall or something. Okay, better get out my jacket that I brought. This should work. Should fit over my bag too. Maybe. All right. A little snug. But if I can see, I should be able to go out there and brave this weather. That may have been an error in judgment to leave that perfectly dry pavilion I was already in, because my pants are getting soaked. This jacket doesn't obviously cover anything below the waist. So there's that, and I totally did not bring an umbrella today. It has been a while since I've been caught out in the rain like this. And I feel a little bit bad because the park here is so massive. There were so many other things to check out. And I just feel like with this weather, it keeps kind of starting and stopping. I don't think it's actually going to stop for good until about 8 p.m. So I'm just going to head up to the main street and get a taxi to somewhere indoors where I can relax with a cup of coffee, maybe think about all the things that I wish I could have done here today. Guess it's a really good thing the weather turned bad, because now I can come in and kind of look at a mall here. I'm not a huge fan of shopping, so this wouldn't be my first thing to do. I'd much rather be outside doing what I was doing earlier. But now you get the pleasure of seeing what a typical shopping experience is in China here. And truthfully, it's way nicer than most other places I've been in the world. When you see all this, you really realize how much money people have. I mean, they have a massive middle class that I feel like has kind of been dying off in a lot of other parts of the world. Something else that's really cool here is that so much of these malls is dedicated to children's stuff. So a lot of it is stores selling baby clothing, or little areas like play areas and arcades. Now look at these little tiny bags here. It looks just like my regular big size bag, except it's little tiny. I know I said I hate shopping, but I think I may have just found something I have to buy. All right, well, this has been okay, especially with the weather, but I think I've had my fill of the mall for now. But this is what the standard one looks like here in China. Now, there are some amazing places to shop here in China. They have some of those modern malls in the world with every brand you can possibly think of. But I thought I'd like to try something that's a little bit more local to where I'm from. And this is a place that most Americans almost have a religious fervor for. So far, I'm seeing all the staples of a normal Walmart. Clothes and cosmetics. Now there's an entire section over here just dedicated to table tennis and badminton, and that is because these are such popular pastimes and things for people to do here as far as sports go. There's also some basketballs, some frisbees, but you don't really see American footballs or even soccer balls. Well, no, actually there are soccer balls. No American footballs. Lots and lots of food here. And I think the prices are pretty cheap, so that's kind of consistent with Walmart's branding wherever it is, whether it's, you know, in the US or here in China. Oh, and here's the alcohol up here. There are a lot of products here too that you can definitely get in the USA as well. These companies sell to everybody, so. And I do think it is cheaper here than what we pay in the US as far as prices. It just depends on what you're looking for and what you're buying. Back over here we have the pharmacy, skincare, as well as checkout. So that was a pretty cool experience just checking that out here. And a bit smaller than the ones I'm used to in the US. And again, it's not a standalone store. It's kind of inside a bigger mall with lots of other shopping options. it's not a bad place actually to find a souvenir if you're looking for something like tea before you leave. I honestly really love the fact that everybody is so into this. They're doing like professional photo shoots. There are just so many people over here at night. I'm really glad I came back here tonight to see all this, but this is a lot. It's very much a massive carnival vibe with people selling all kinds of stuff. You know, a lot of tchotchkes, souvenirs, and also street vendors selling food. So if you get hungry and you want to stay out here pretty late, that, and I'm trying not to get anybody else's photos. But these lights are incredible. Well, because this is the most touristy part of town, of course, there's just a lot going on. So it is a bit chaotic, more chaotic than I like, but all this food looks so good. So right now I'm just trying to find my way over to the edge of that massive river that I saw earlier, because I think there's a really nice view of the skyline from there. Well, this is a fun little night market here. This market street is a lot longer than I thought it would be. But they're selling pretty much anything you can think of as far as food. So many restaurants, so many little shops. If I needed a souvenir, maybe I would even pick it up here. Finally, I'm making it over here to the riverbank. Just had to cross this road really quick, and I think there's going to be some out of this world views. I can already see the tower across the other side, all lit up. There are so many spots to stand along here, but you can see over there, that's the newer bridge, and this right above me is the old one. The lights on these buildings is just incredible. It's like they all have kind of a thing they're doing together, making an image or flashing at the same time, similar colors. Oh, it is getting a little bit later now, and I've got to get up early tomorrow morning, but I would have to say I've really enjoyed my time here in Wuhan, and I wish I had more. I really just had one day to explore and see it, and I do hope I can come back in the future, because this is an amazing place that is seriously underrated and I think gets a bad rap, especially after something that happened recently regarding a pandemic. Anyway, hope you're all staying safe, healthy, and happy. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Thanks for joining me today. Life's a journey meant to be shared. Remember to always travel with an open heart and an open mind. Enjoy the ride and keep your eyes on the horizon for the next adventure. I'll see you out there.